Welcome back to Encounter Roleplay and to the Crownlands, our Game of Thrones campaign, inspired by the Green Ronin Chronicle system and adapted for our own intriguing uses by RPG Webby, aka Follow Black Cats, and the After the Fire crew, who you can catch in action on Thursdays. But I have quite the cast assembled here around and about, so why don't we go and say hello to them all? Let's start with Tom. It's Monday, Tom. Are you booked in for Tuesday? Hold on.
I am, but I was lucky enough to be able to get slotted in on Monday. Only occasionally, not all the time. I won't be a regular here, but occasionally when you need the voice of reason in this terrible and traumatic family, and I'll be here. You know, being very fair, reasonable, and pious.
Only good things come from House Gaunt. Isn't that right, Susanna Grace?
Hang on, I was muted and my outrage meant I couldn't hit the button quickly enough. What the fuck? Hello, everybody. I'm back. And Allegra is back. And I'm so excited to be terrible and awful and mean and everybody's favorite Westerosi wine mum on a Monday. Game of Thrones twice a week, baby! Let's go.
Game of Thrones twice a week, baby! Also applies to Sam. This is all your fault at the end of the day.
Hey, I'm unmuted. Good. Hey everyone. It is my fault, mainly because I wrote 3 of these lovely people assembled here today, including Charlie, our GM, to play Green Ronin Song of Ice and Fire. And from the second they created their disaster house, they were hooked. So Charlie wanted to do this one. It's true, isn't it? But yeah, I'm back playing. It's going to be good. I've got Jamie hairdo going on because it's week whatever times a concept in Lockdown Land. Yeah, I know I'm excited to play. I'm excited to see what buddy cop shenanigans Shauna and I get up to.
I am also very excited. You know what? I'm going to skip past Nuno. I'm going to speak to your buddy cop, Shauna, for a moment. Shauna, how are you doing, friend? Beautiful art back on display this season. Thank you so much.
Thanks. I am happy to be back. I missed the show so much. And I will apologize to Nuno and Aster for what Adeline did last season. And we have just abandoned him to the wolves or to the gaunts. So we'll see where that goes and see where Ella and Jamie, where that stuff leads to.
And welcome back to the very reasonable Gauntmeister, who did nothing wrong and was treated awfully by Allegra, but always welcome here. Matt, how are you doing?
Fantastic, Charlie. Happy to be back. Happy to open up this season with our favorite horse training disasters, the Tremaines. They seem to have gotten themselves into a spot of trouble, and, you know, we'd love to help them out for a given value of help.
That seems very reasonable to me indeed. And I'm just hyping up these people because this season we will have a heap of guests here on Encounter Roleplay, and I want you to get a taste of the backup your very good GM will provide should you sit in one of these hot seats. But in the hottest seat of House Tremaine, King of Horses, Nuno.
Yes, it is I, King of Horses.
Can we try out a new title for this season?
Sure, why not? Yeah. But the real question, Charlie, is for how long will Aster be King of Horses? That's the burning question, given where we finished last season. And Nuno, personally, I'm really, really eager to find out what happens. I think if I need to get into the spirit of Aster to play the character, I should be really, really nervous. So I'm going to try and do that. All right. Just give me a second. Go on. Carry on, Charlie.
While Nuno centers himself in anxiety and existential dread, I would like to remind you, in good feelings and positivity, of our sponsors here on Encounter Roleplay, handing over not to past Charlie, but leaving it in the capable-ish hands of me, present Charlie. This season on Encounter Roleplay, we are sponsored by the wonderful Modiphius, bringing us Star Trek Adventures on a Thursday from 6 until 9 with their new Klingon sourcebook. which Sam, I think, was a mastermind behind the scenes and repping that Star Trek today with a yellow shirt, or a gold shirt, I should say. Of course, we also need to say a thank you to Maychan Press, who are sponsoring our Wednesday Dark Matter show. I mentioned a little in the tunnel, but we will be bringing you Conspiracy in the Stars, the new adventure in their Kickstarter starter kit, which is going on right now. They have smashed through every goal they've thrown down. I think they're on their way to $150,000. This is going to be immense. Tiny bit of pride because I did write on Conspiracy in the Stars, but I've seen the stretch goals, and there is going to be some awesome stuff in this box for anyone who invests in that. So please do go check it out. And finally, shout out to Helmgast, who are sponsoring Cult on Wednesdays from 6 until 9. We are playing a new adventure, but it's a modern TTRPG horror based on the Power by the Apocalypse system, but with D10s instead of D6s. It's a little bit edgy, but it's a little bit fun. And I cannot wait to find out how our GM Mitch disembowels me as we play again, because that's what happened in the one-shot, and I can feel a disembowelment returning. But someone who might be feeling a disembowelment returning is Aster, as he gazes out across the Tremaine lands. The lights on the border have grown closer as the host from House Gaunt approaches, led by 2 riders. As they draw closer, coming up towards the keep of Famine's Hold, you can just make out the familiar shape of Maester Otto, who had been here during the turbulent time Famine's Hold had suffered during a sickness, or perhaps a poisoning that had ripped through the castle not too many days ago. Next to him, it must be a Gaunt. They have very familiar features, but not one you have personally met. It's not unreasonable for you to suspect this is one of the Gaunt brothers, one that Adolin hasn't killed. He is angry and stoic as he raises up the banner. 3 black lances on a pink field. Thanks, George. We prepare the charge. His words ring out as smoke billows off of the many held high torches. And there is a pause as the Gaunt hosts wait for your response.
So, if I recall correctly, Charlie, last time we left off, as I was watching this from a distance, the guards and the men were getting ready in case there was some kind of invasion, in which case, here they are, or it appears to be that way. So, Aster will make his way down towards the entrance of the keep and finds a small host of men, and I assume there would be some kind of signal that would represent let's meet in the middle ground to talk this out. I assume that would be a thing, given the history of the family. The 2 families.
Yes, it would be expected for the leaders potentially to meet in the middle ground for a parley.
Yeah.
The Gaunts are well respected in terms of being valiant and keeping to the general oaths and codes of things.
Yeah.
But your men were summoned by, I think, Garen, who is your current Master of Arms, promoted after the tragic demise of Adolin. Tragic demise. As you covered up her death at the end of last season, you were warned of the Gaunt's approach by the maid, Ellen, who had discovered Darla sending word to the Gaunts and warning you that the enemy was coming to prepare your men.
Yeah, absolutely. So Aster will make his way down the stairs and look around and think and pause for a second, and he thinks, Adolin, Jamie, Allegra, Tarla, and just continues to stop there, inert for a second, and shakes his head, realizing that as per usual, he can rely on no one but himself. And he continues to go down and find Garen. And after finding Garen, he'll speak up. Garen, it appears that your tasks will start with being hard. You shall ride with me, shall meet them middle ground. I still have hopes that we can solve this peacefully, but if not, we need to buy some time. Make sure we're ready. Whoever you trust the most, leave them in charge. But you ride with me. Is that clear?
Yes, my lord. And he
One more
turns
thing.
and barks an order over his shoulder to send for the man he trusts the most.
One more thing. If you go up this stairway, there will be a body. Don't be alarmed. Bring it with us.
As you say, my lord. And what of our honoured guest, Sir Valarian?
Yes. I shall speak with him. Might be a good play. Thank you, Garen. And you see as Aster kind of clearly pauses for a second and a little shine in his eyes sparkles as he realizes that, oh yeah, that might work out. And he shoots back up and try and find Diffin.
Diffin has remained in your chambers, pretty much the safest place for him, as chaos had broken out in the keep and there was little for him to do. He'd seen Jamie and Adeline go out into the night via the back through the secret tunnels, and he walked past the felled maid in the corridor. He's currently playing with the door, which hangs on just one hinge, previously kicked in by your brother. And he's trying to set it right. But this is a man who probably hasn't done a lot of hard work in his life and is mostly just intrigued as to the workings of the hinge.
Aster approaches, looks curiously at what he's doing, but quickly gets off his mind. Diffin? Lord Valarian?
Yes. How can I help you?
I'm sure you already saw what's happening, right? You looked out the windows.
Yes, it would appear your neighbors aren't very happy with you.
No, but if there's something they are, is loyal to the crown. And I guess that's something you are as well, are you not, Diffin?
Of course.
What do you say?
Aster?
He kind of looks around, make sure that no one's eavesdropping, and lowers his tone a little bit. Well, I believe that the gods have come to seek retribution for what, well, let's just say that the reason why Adeline had to disappear has to do with the gods. But you can still help me salvage this situation. If you ride with me and meet them, perhaps they'll be less tempted to attack if they know that we're hosting you.
I shall ride with you.
And just one thing. The Tarla topic might be quite sensitive, as I assume whoever's riding with the maester that I recognized would be Wendell Gaunt, the betrothed to Tarla. So let's try and avoid that topic for now. Okay?
He avoids your gaze from the moment you mention the name Tarla, and he keeps it low as he kind of nods and mumbles an affirmative that he won't bring it up.
At his odd reaction to that, Aster will kind of gently put his hand on his arm and say, Jamie brought news that Tarla might still have hope. So please, just keep quiet about it. Let them find her. Now, come, let's meet Garen. And turn around
I will need
if he has
some
nothing else to say.
armor. I came here with only what I wore to the tournament.
Of course. Let's try and find something for you. Let's hope it's not going to be needed, though. And so as Aster would already be in full attire because he had to do the procession with the millstone and whatnot. Because this is all the same night, isn't it? Or
It
day?
is.
I don't know. Yeah. So Aster would already be ready and not even realize that that would be a thing that he would need. And then will gently instruct one of the guards to escort him to whatever makeshift armory the keep would have. It would probably not be very fancy.
So you have him prepared, and he dresses as quickly as he can, knowing there are literally lords waiting on your lawn with armed men behind them who are pretty unhappy and not wanting to see his friends attacked. You mount up to proceed out of the keep. Correct, Nino? Yep.
Correct, yes. Displaying some
And-
sort of, like, peace sign, if possible.
You could bear, I imagine, like a white flag works as well in Westeros as it does here. A flag with no colours
So I was
on.
thinking less of a surrender kind of situation, because I guess white flag can also be seen as surrender, right? But something as like, let's just talk this out. But yeah.
Okay, how about you
probably-
ride out without a bannerman?
Yeah, sure,
You
that
leave
works.
him. He can be at the keep, ready and waiting your lead bannerman, but you don't ride out with him. You just ride out with yourself, Garen, and Diffin Valarian.
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome. So, as you ride down, there is movement in the back of the ranks, and it distracts the Gaunts at the lead, who turn to see what is going on, suspecting perhaps a flanking attack. And there is some wheeling and moving of horses and shuffling around. But it is not an attack, but in fact, Wendell, you had been riding from the capital home, having received a raven reporting of your younger brother's death. And on the road were met by gaunt men who had come to find you to tell you that your youngest brother, Vernon Gaunt, now leads a host in your father's name to demand answers from House Tremaine for the insult, injury, and murders committed. And you have found your way to the back of the host. You've got yourself some armor, having been in simple riding gear, not knowing that you were about to join what could potentially be a battle, and now make your way up to the front. Is there anything additional you'd like to do, Tom, before you join the conversation?
Do we have a bannerman up the front with them?
Yes.
Okay. I'll ride up. I'll just ride up. Kind of like a trot up to the others, but no, I won't do anything else.
Your younger brother gives a nod, recognizing you as you finally break the lines. And he moves his horse across closer to Maester Ottos to leave room with you to join the front. We didn't
Brother?
know if you would make it.
I did
My
not
Lord Wendell.
know I was... Maester. I did not know I was going to war as I came back.
We had intended something of a meeting until this afternoon. Tavian is dead.
Do you know who did it?
It was the Master of Arms for the Tremaine. That woman.
Just her?
They were having lunch down in the pasture. Tavian and a couple of the other men. They had no warning, just arrows from the sky. The house gave chase, but lost her in the woods. No doubt she fled back here to this warren.
He'll close his eyes and bow his head, and he'll start mumbling a few words of prayer, and then open them. And your plan is retribution.
Our plan is to demand something. This cannot stand. They have
Very-
insulted us in open court, accused us of treason, and now they commit murder. They believe themselves a law unto anyone. Maester,
Yes, my lord.
what are we asking for exactly? And you can tell Vernon has basically wound himself up and is just planning on going in and seeing what happens. Vernon isn't the best planner of your brothers, but he is a talented tactician when it comes to actual battle. Societal conversation, not so much.
It's quite obvious that we seek Lady Adeline Tremaine to stand trial for the murder of Lord Tavian. If they do not wish to provide the murderer, then we are well within our rights to take her. Unless you have a different suggestion, Lord Wendell.
No. That seems fair. Come. We shall see what the Lord Tremaine has to say. And I'd kick the horse to start trotting towards him.
And head right after him.
And just before you kick away, Vernon will mutter to you, Wendell, that Father has gone to call the banners. Vernon has dropped back in the approach. You see Asta, another rider, has pushed forward. The banner advances along with the maester that you do recognize. They come to a halt. I'd say probably about 10 feet from you.
So as they come to a halt as well, I raise my hands, gesture to my accompanying party to also stand their ground. Can I raise my voice? My lords? Maester? What is the meaning of this?
Master?
My Lord Tremaine, we are here seeking the king's and God's justice for the murder of my youngest. And I need to double check the name. Tavian?
Tavian.
Tavian.
Either way.
Tavian Gaunt, by your Master of Arms. It was a Master at Arms? Was that the
Mistress,
title?
Lord.
Master at Arms? Mistress.
Yeah.
Mistress. Sorry. Mistress of Arms. We expect her to be brought forth straight away so that she may find justice.
Lord Wendell, I heard you were in King's Landing. News does travel
was.
fast. My apologies for not sending word earlier. I had a very easy night. And first of all, my condolences. My former mistress at arms thought that family was above treason, my lord. And after committing this heinous crime, she came back and admitted to my face what she had done. But here in this house, we do not stand for treason, my lord. So I hope you brought some kind of scraping instrument, because if you want to retrieve Adeline, you shall have to scrape her from the bottom of the mill.
Explain.
My former mistress of arms has been executed, but a few hours after confessing to the crime of murdering your youngest brother. And once again, my condolences.
And at this point, I would like to ask everyone to roll for an intrigue initiative, please. And I want to say a massive thank you to the Chaos Chorus. Thanks to you, pretty much everyone on my screen has been awarded with a bonus test dice, or I should say an extra test dice, so we don't get confused between terms, for them to use at any point they would like. So thank you so much, and thank you so much for those retweets. I will be adding some banes and boons along the way. Should we hit 40 retweets today, a unpredicted ally will arrive, and that is all I will say about that. We do have some new donation options down below for today as well, that are going to be running for all of this season. The new ones are One Truth, which means a player can introduce a truth to the scene or to the world. This becomes something that is absolute fact and could be anything of that player's choosing. And we've also introduced Pet Pals, where you can donate to give the players pets or ally NPCs. GM discretion does apply in World. But, you know, if you'd like to see a whole pack of pets for the group, then that is what you need to do. Everything else is the same. We've got crits, banes, boons, and, of course, ultimate power down the bottom.
So, Charlie, unless Wendell has a status of 4 or higher, Aster will go first because of his extreme eloquence.
I do have a status of 4.
In that case, let me roll. But I go after Wendell if I do worse.
Okay.
Otto also has a status of 4, just for the record.
No! What is happening?
He's a very good maester.
It should be pointed out that House Gaunt do have a high power score, or whichever one it is that gives them the high status unlock.
Nice.
Doesn't matter. Alright, so I'm under attack by a fly, so I'm sorry if I keep swatting, but that's what it is. This thing will not fuck off and die, no matter how many times I ask it to very nicely. Alright, so, dearest beloved players, let's begin with Wendell. What did you roll, friend?
I rolled a 19.
19. And
Yep.
Matt, what did you roll for Maester Otto?
20.
20, perfect. And Asta, what did you roll?
12.
Very good. And I am going to roll for our good friend, Mr. Valarian. He gets a 16, and then Garen will go after you because he is following you, and I just don't see the point of rolling for him. Alright. So our play order will be Matt, Tom, me, and then Nuno, and then me again. I will put that into our green room in a second too. Perfect. Alright, so Asta offers his condolences and tells you that Adeline is dead, already executed for the crime. Maester Otto,
Are we to believe
you have
that-
the opportunity to answer first.
Are we to believe that justice has been done so quickly? Within such a short amount of time that there has been a trial, a judgment, and an execution? all in the same light. Lord Aster, I do have respect for you in your lands. However, please respect our intelligence when we have some doubts as to the veracity of this tale that you've told us. I'm going to go ahead and read target.
All right, so your target is going to be your awareness, empathy versus the passive deception of your target. I have relinked the cheat sheet in important links on the Discord if anyone is missing it.
Yep, just navigating around the page to the right place.
Perfect. Again, I apologize to stream that Moldark bot has gone on strike for today, but I will do my best to get you all of the important links. And thank you to the mods as well. We have hit 25 or 26 retweets, which is amazing. So please do keep hitting that tweet if you see it.
That is a 20 on that awareness empathy.
Yeah. Passive deception is 8.
Okay. The reactions of the whole household. All right, so Matt, you will find out Aster's current disposition towards you. The last technique used, unfortunately, no technique has been used yet, I would say, in this conversation, and you will also gain that additional bonus dice for your next go.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So
Aster,
disposition
what is your
towards
disposition?
towards the maester it's indifferent.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Okay, actually, I will say, because you get that kind of technique read, Nuno, would you have appeared deceptive in your offer of condolences? Omitting anything?
No.
No. Okay.
No, the condolences were earnest.
Genuine. Oh, I have
It's
no
just
doubt
everything
that.
else was bullshit. That's all. It's just
Yeah, exactly,
The
but-
condolences was
Yeah, that's the
brilliant, but
thing.
everything
I
else-
have no doubt Aster is very sorry Tavian dead.
But unfortunately, I would say like that's
That-
the last thing Aster said, so that's the thing that you heard
Yeah.
in on. Like that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
no,
short
that's fine.
intrigue otherwise.
Lord Wendell, your thoughts?
Wendell will pause for a moment and I wish to hear what Lord Tremaine has to say. And I will consider. So consider basically means I give up my action, and in exchange I get 2 bonus dice for the next exchange, but because I've got the feat Cautious Diplomat, I get that for the entire intrigue.
Ooh, very nice. So next up is Diffin. He is going to essentially he's going to wait to assist Aster for his turn now. So it'll be to you, Aster, and I'll just roll his assist after.
Okay. Yeah, so after hearing what Maester Otto has said, he will retort with, Maester, please forgive me if you're not accustomed to things being so quickly done in your lands and in your keep, but the truth is, we do them fast here, especially when there's a straight-up confession to the head of the house. And also, I hope you agree that if there's something I have not done in your time here with us, was insult your intelligence, quite the contrary. And yeah, I'm not sure what technique that this would be. I guess charm would apply in this case, because I'm trying to kind of win over the Maester given our few days together. So I guess that would be charm.
So charm, essentially, you would be improving his disposition towards you. Influence is to convince him of what you're saying. Oh, sorry, convince is to influence him to believe what you're saying.
Okay, in that case,
What's
sure.
your point of view?
Convince.
So it's up to you.
Convince
You
it
can
is.
roll charm if you'd like, but it's about the outcome that you would be getting.
Yeah. No, convince is fine. I'll take that. Convince. I'm slightly better at that.
Okay.
And does Diffin's action do anything to the roll, or?
Yes, let me go and check Diffin's persuasion for you. And I'm just gonna basically give you half his
One
rank
bonus.
just for now.
If
bonus dice?
there is a thing called assist, which basically gives you an extra bonus dice.
Yeah.
It's an actual
He has to succeed though on the persuasion roll, correct, Sam?
Oh no.
Yeah, we've ruled it a little differently in the past. If you want to do a fast version, give him a bonus dice. If you want to make him test, lend half his rank as a flat
Okay,
bonus.
we'll do the fast version then. As Diffin gives up his roll, he'll support what you've said verbally, and you'll get a +1 bonus dice. Thank you, Sam.
Gotcha.
It's all right.
All right, that's an 18 then.
The defense of 12, I believe that's 2 degrees of success.
Nice. So it's convince. What's your will rank there, Nuno?
3.
So it's 6 composure damage to whoever was the target that lost them.
Yeah, the maester.
He's swinging at Otto, but I do have some reduction on that, thankfully.
Imagine.
Just a little bit right now.
Oh.
Well, that's just the way of things.
I believe we go back up to Otto, actually, top of the round.
Is Garen doing anything?
wants to do something? Yeah.
I think Garen is going to let the lords of the house talk this one out. This is very much above his pay grade. But he sits there.
smart
This
move.
is the
on his
squire.
horse. I think if anything, he's probably sending a signal to the men back at the Famines Hold just to hold in their places and not do anything.
It's fair.
So Otto.
I appreciate your position, Lord Aster. Honestly, I do. But our Lord is still dead. Our youngest Lord, I should say. And if, as you say, has happened and Lady Adeline is no longer with us, where is our justice then? If you have taken it from us. I think it's a convince roll in this case. Trying to convince him that you still owe the gods something for this.
Yeah, sure thing. Is it still because the actions can be different? Is this just straight up influence? This is like an attack, or
Yeah.
do you want to use any other things?
It's an influence. He's not trying to do anything fancy. Otherwise, it's just the boy needs a lesson of some sort.
Yeah. So persuasion or perception test based on what you're doing. Versus Nuno's intrigue defense.
Yup. That is only a 9, actually.
Okay.
Ooh.
Does that equal?
No, my defense is an 11.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's lower.
Okay, so his words don't land as much to you.
Wait,
There's no
hold on.
damage.
No. I forgot. No, it's not a charm test. Never mind. We're good. Carry on.
Okay.
Qualities.
All right.
Qualities are a thing, people.
I did. Look them up. Cool. Right, we're over to Wendell as the second.
Do you have any... were there any witnesses to the execution of your Mistress of Arms?
You guys can roleplay it out, even if it's an exchange, someone's action.
But of course, we make sure that everyone knows that we tolerate no treason. The entire hold was there, as well as the population. Everyone saw.
And he'll turn to Lord Valerian. Even you, my lord.
I saw the procession go down to the village. Heard the shouts that they found her dead. She'd apparently attempted to flee into the tunnels beneath the keep.
So she was not executed. Her body was disposed of by the mill.
Yes. Her
So
own
she was
fate.
not alive when you disposed of it.
Sadly not. I wish she had been. The screams would have put more fear into the people. No one would ever betray me again. But I feel like the lesson landed regardless.
Wendell, Maester also, as you look to Diffin and he's kind of replying, I rolled the deception test for him because I think it's pertinent to the roleplay. He definitely appears to be hiding something as he critically fails his roll.
In that case, I'll clock that, and I think I'll do a retarget on Asta. Kind of.
All right. Well, so it's your awareness empathy versus Asta's passive deception.
And I'm gonna add 2 bonus dice to that because I can through the entire encounter.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
give it a go. 16.
Yeah. We know it's 8.
So, Nuno, what is Asta's disposition towards Wendell?
Unfriendly.
And
Not
what was
sure
the
what
last
last
technique?
So I guess last technique was influence, wasn't it? Oh, technique, convince.
Technique would be
right,
like
yeah.
seduction, taunt, that thing. So
Yeah,
convince.
convince.
Yeah,
It
it was
was
convince,
the-
wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. And I get an extra dice for my next persuasion. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, stop it.
I see. And he'll pause, and he's kind of like staring at Lord Valerian now. I don't know if he's a lord. I think he's a sir, isn't he? I don't know. Is he a lord?
He's
a
the
lord,
heir
he's
to House
heir.
Valarian.
So it's Sir whatever his first
Sir
name
Diffin.
is. Diffin, Sir Diffin. And Wendell will kind of just transfix his eyes on Sir Diffin and just stay quiet.
And Otto will share a glance Wendell's way toward Diffin.
So as Aster sees both their gazes kind of shift towards Diffin, and I assume Aster would also realize that his voice was shaking a little bit and whatnot. He tries to deviate attention from this topic of conversation and speaking slightly louder now. But I hope you do believe us. I would gain nothing from harboring traitors. But speaking of treasonous acts, he kind of unclasps a belt buckle, whatnot, on Garen's horse and lets the body fall down to the floor of Darla the maid. I have something else that I would wish to discuss since we're here already. This person.
I'm gonna.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
This person has been found within our keep, communicating with your household under the guise of being one of the handmaidens of my sadly still missing sister.
Do I know about this plant? Would I have been one of the ones who did, or is this out of my way? Yeah, this is something
Mr.
someone else
Otto.
has done.
Does Wendell know about your little bird?
Has he been at the meetings that I've been having with Lord Nestor? He would have to be. He's the heir to the house. He has to.
Oh, I
Like,
suppose
he has-
might know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You absolutely
I
know
think-
that we've had a spy for some
I
time
th-
in the Tremaine.
I think it's more of a okay, but just don't tell me about it. You do what you do.
You don't ask where the intelligence comes from. Just
Yeah,
that it
tell me
comes.
what I need to know, not how you
Yep.
know it.
Yep.
After, what I was going to say is you can have 2 bonus dice for your next roll as you introduce a body as evidence. And it's good of you to remember.
Aster
that you
just
have
piling up
something.
bodies. Here, is this one good enough for you?
Yeah, the other one's gone, but you want this one instead?
It's fine. It's fine.
Garen will make sure to turn his torch so that you can see the woman's shocked face, the red blood, her ripped corset.
Sorry, she's dead, right?
Very
Yeah,
dead.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Okay,
super dead.
gotcha. Sorry, I need to
My
remember.
question is this actually the spy that we planted there? And that might need to be something that happens in a PM somewhere.
Yeah.
You'll have to tell me as well. Oh no, actually, I'll be like,
Yeah, you don't
I
need
don't
to know.
their
I need to
face.
know.
I don't need
Yeah.
to know their face. It's like friggin'.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. So, spy. I
So yeah,
wouldn't know of any spy.
Spy?
What you
Spy
do?
her?
What you
I
do with
hardly
your?
know her.
What you do with your small folk and what you believe is happening? That's business for your hold.
Maester, previously you asked me to not insult your intelligence, and as an equal request, I would ask you to do the same. If we're here to find answers and find a common ground and prevent more bloodshed, then perhaps don't do that. Being intelligent's not enough. Be smart as well. I know you can be it. I've talked about it. Speaking of which, Maester, would you be able to identify the poison that you identified as well in the wine barrel that you examined if I were to show it to you?
Unfortunately, I would not be able to. The poison was too diffuse by the time I had been able to examine it, unfortunately. Too many days had passed.
It's oddly convenient, Mr. Roto. Oddly convenient. Because, my lord kind of turns to Wendell. Maester. And the other one still, your brother is also there, Wendell? Or
No, he's back at the
just
line.
Ah,
He's,
okay, gotcha.
he's back at the line, yeah. He would have been drawing
May-
swords by now, probably.
I'd be
If
having
you
the
wish
talks
to.
burning down.
If you wish to, we can stay here and exchange words for as long as you like. We can go back and forth, telling half-truths, kind of turns to Otto, lies, and even a few truths. Because I believe no ruse is good enough without a few truthful pieces. But the truth is, there is a common enemy that we should be bonding together to fight against. We have found proof that the poisoning that you've heard of here in our keep was not towards us. Kind of turns to Diffin at this point. There is a larger conspiracy at play here. And I believe your little bird, Maester, kind of turn it to Otto again. And then take the little vial from my pocket. Might have been involved without your prior knowledge. So I request of you, justice has been served. My former mistress at arms is dead. Again, my condolences for your little brother.
And what's more, Tyler is still missing. Diffin cannot contain himself as the pressure is just building on him. As more people are dead, he sees the dead maid, Adeline's dead, Wendell's brother's dead. And my Lord Gaunt, when she is found, I intend to marry her.
Do you indeed? Lord Tremaine, is this your doing too?
He just snaps back to Diffin, this death glare. Of course not. A deal is a deal. Unless you give me any reason to call it off, then, and to appeal to the king, then a deal is a deal. When Tarla is found, things will proceed as normal. Unless, of course, you wish to take action here, now, today, tonight.
I would like to slowly ride up to Diffin and just go up beside him, making sure I'm stand up. And why do you believe that you will wed her? Has Lord Tremaine promised you her?
I intend to make Lord Tremaine a better offer than you can, sir.
And how will you do that?
By being a better man, and a richer one.
Interesting.
You have no interest in her.
Do not presume to know what I have interest in.
If you weren't
I'll
so
turn
interested,
back.
would you not have ridden out when you got word of what happened here at the Hold?
Indeed, I would have, if I had not had to go to King's Landing and defend my family name from vicious rumors and accusation from the House Tremaine, which insults have still not been repaid for.
Upon the premises of our first exchange, I do not presume to insult your intelligence, but Lord Wendell, I believe these accusations were not from House Tremaine.
Then I suggest you talk to your dear sister who is using your name in King's Landing.
My sister will be dealt with whenever I deem it necessary. For now, please do better and recognize her words as from House Dorsey.
Oh, don't worry. I do, and I ensured that she did as well.
Good. I am happy to hear that, truly.
So, you say that your mistress's arms is dead, and you bring forth a body of anyone, I don't know who they are, and what? You expect us to just leave?
I see no other resolution to this. Let us put the facts on the table. You feel wronged by an accusation that you say was from House Tremaine when it was in fact from House Dorsey. You ride because you had heard that my mistress at arms and murdered your brother. When you arrive, business has been taken care of. Made an example for everyone to see here in Famine's Hold. And here
You
lies
say-
a spy.
You say business and justice has been served, but that is your justice, not ours. We did not see the execution. We weren't partaken of the execution. That is for your own house. We still require justice.
Well, perhaps, in that case, we should take it to higher powers. Let's ride to King's Landing, both of us. Let's talk to court, settle this once and for all. Because, as Sir Diffin here was saying, when word of Tarlebing disappeared, you chose to ride to King's Landing under false accusations instead of coming here to help.
And
You send a maester, which plants a spy in our midst. And then you ride to my doorstep, threatening us with an army. What do you think the
and
crown
my
would say
lord
about
has
this?
also concealed that his sister was involved in the plot to kill the Targaryens in all lines of Valyria. I had the letter read myself.
I'll turn to the maester.
Apparently, Dilla had been sending letters, which had been held by Maester Horus, and they were recovered after his demise. And as you well know, your sister was not well, my lord.
No,
Anything
she
she
was. Yes.
Perhaps it would be better, my lord, if everyone present simply returned home and dealt with their own business. Grieved for their own dead.
In fact, Sir Diffan, if you would, I would very much like to have a private conversation with you.
If you wish to challenge me to a duel, Sir Wendell, does not need to be privately announced. And he's got his
Nothing
hand on his
else.
He's so ready for a fight now. He's amped himself. He's feeling it.
This
Very
Nothing-
specifically you.
If he really wants
Nothing-
one, I mean.
Nothing as coarse as that, no. A conversation. That is all.
When your business is concluded with Lord Astor, then.
Oh, no, not
Sir-
at all. Not yet.
Sir Diffin, I appreciate your eagerness to meet with Lord Wendell alone, but the truth is that there is a larger plot to conspire against you and your bloodline, Sir Diffin. And their spy, looks at the body again, was carrying a vial of poison. A poison that might have been used at the attack at our hold. And, as you pointed out, our Lord's sister appears to have been involved in this very same plot, so I would not advise you to do such a thing alone.
Do not mention my dear sister.
The accusations that you lay out here, Lord Astor, I believe would require more proof than you've presented. Tread carefully with your words.
Curious. That is not what you said when we met alone in our keep, Maester Otto. Are you
Alright,
that
I'm
afraid
gonna
of your
bring us-
lord?
Back to rolling.
Yeah.
Just for the next few statements. Just to warn you, as you set up, as you're going to say next, you're going to be rolling. So.
Yeah, okay. In that case, what Astor was trying to say was, It's curious, Maester. It's not what you said when we met privately, when you were here. It does seem that you do speak freely when your lord is not around, but now it seems I need more proof. That's curious. And kind of targeting this conversation towards Wendell at this point, kind of try and cause some discord between both of them and kind of take the fire off of me and Diffin. Especially Diffin, idiot. So, yeah, I guess that's insight, right? Try and insight Wendell towards the Maester. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And yeah, okay. Here's the rolls. There. Oh, you didn't say I had 2 bonus dice for the next one, yeah?
Yes.
How is this possible?
You also
This
have
is
a keep
ridiculous.
dice up on your screen if you want to throw that in
Oh.
as well.
Sure. So that's how is it? Slash roll 1d6, yeah?
Correct.
It's the same thing, isn't it? Oh no, it's just +2, so it's 17.
Okay. That's 2 degrees of success.
Ooh. And this is cunning rank, which is 4, so that's 8 total.
Okay. Okay, no problem. No problem.
Okay.
You'll see Wendell eye the Maester and linger a bit longer than should usual. And he's now just waiting for the Maester to respond, basically.
What we discussed, Lord Master, was of mutual benefit to both House Gaunt and House Tremaine. What you decided to do, based on the findings that I was able to present to you, that was your choice. And by taking these courses of action, I honestly am having a hard time figuring out what to say at this point, because it seems you were just determined to paint House Gaunt in the worst possible light, when they've been doing nothing but attempting to assist you this whole time.
Let us not forget that you rode to my doorsteps. I didn't rode to yours.
I did, and I rendered what aid I could, such as I could, with passage of time. Had we known sooner, we could have helped sooner.
Was
And why
his
would we ride-
aid inadequate, my lord?
It was not, and I thanked him, and I thank you now for the help you provided. But the truth is that the facts that Maester Otto presented did lead me to this conclusion. And I understand it is a sensitive topic, Lord Wendell, but if you truly have an enemy in common, perhaps broaden your horizons, think further, open to new possibilities. We must find who's behind this, and fighting between ourselves is not agreeable.
Maester, what are these facts that the Lord is saying?
The fact of the matter is that the issues with the food supply of Famine's Hold did go beyond that of normal wear and tear, spoilage, and such. Something had been introduced. What, I couldn't say. Unfortunately, as I said, there was too much time. I could not properly determine it. I would have had to have gotten to it within hours possibly a day, maybe, if I was learned in the ways of humors and such. But as it stands, there was only so much I could glean. And the fact of the matter is, House Tremaine is a house of great spirit. And that spirit does attract a great many, well, detractors, as it is. Other than your family's ancient rivalry, there have been others, chiefly among them the Baratheons, but one must also take into account that not just the Tremaines were present that night. Had anybody learned potentially of Lord Valerian's attendance and harbored ill will towards him or perhaps the royal family, that would lead to somebody attempting something very, very rash, especially if it was agents of Aegor Rivers or the like. But unfortunately, if that was the case, I was unable to find any trace in my time at Famine's Hold.
I believe the poisoning of your family requires further discussion at a more convenient time. It seems it is much more complex and complicated. And of course, Lord Tremaine, as allies to your house, we of course want to seek the king's and God's justice of what happened within these halls. So, I request this. I request that we select a random number of people from within your walls. They will talk and tell of this parade of your Mistress of Arms and ratify your story that, of course, the king's and God's justice has been done. Then, I feel that we shall both head to King's Landing, where you, in court, will publicly declare that House Gaunt had nothing whatsoever to do with the poisoning, that our family ties and we are strong allies still, and that the wedding between me and Tala is planned to go ahead as soon as she is found. I feel the stranger has taken too many lives recently. I do not wish to give him any more. Are these terms acceptable?
And Wendell, you have been gifted a boon by Apocalypse. And for this, I'm going to give you 3 test dice that you can use on your roll. As I think that's the fairest thing for this.
I think this is obviously kind of like a convince. I'm trying to get him to see my point of view to, or an influence. What would you think?
I think this is an influence, but your action is to convince, right?
Yeah, that's right. So
your
I need.
Influence. Yeah,
so 2 test die. You said I had 2 test die.
Yes, an additional. Additional 3. Sorry, from Apocalypse.
3. Oh, bloody hell. Okay. 6.
As you make this rousing speech before everyone.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember how to do this now in actual kind of typey type. So hang on. So I'm keeping 5, but I've got 3 additional bonus dice. So it's roll 5d. So it's roll 8d6. Keep 5. Yeah.
3 keep dice.
Yeah. So it's 8d6.
Yeah, but I've got
5.
Yeah, because I've got 2 in persuasion anyway, and I've got 1 in convince and 2 of the bonus dice. That I keep through the entire intrigue, so it's rolling. Yeah, it's rolling 8, but I'm keeping 5. Yeah.
Go on then.
18.
Big money,
not that
big
great.
money.
not that
18.
great.
So my defense is 11.
You know what? You know what? Should I? No, you know what? I'll leave it as 18. So I think that's
It's
2
good enough.
degrees of success.
Yeah.
Convince is
Never
my
more than
will
my
rank. So that's 8.
Ouch. Let me see. I think I'm not necessarily out of it.
Don't forget your disposition rating absorbs.
Yeah. So I just take 4. Right. So I'm not out of it. Not out of it. In which case, my lord, I appreciate your sudden disposition to bargain, and I see that finally we meet eye to eye in this matter, although it truly is important. But it seems to me that you are still more held back into assuring that your house comes on top and not to find the source of the conspiracy towards the crown. And let me remind you that definitely that should be our first priority. If you wish to, I will randomly, you can select them yourself, and people will confirm to my story and attest to the procession and the
Which is
ritual.
agreeable. Mm-hmm.
And I will ride with you to King's Landing
Mm-hmm.
and mention there's not any proof at this moment that House Gaunt has been involved in the poisoning, as you requested. But I will say that this was found and continue to hold the vial and let them do their own decisions.
Indeed, you say that was found on a corpse. Is there any evidence that this woman was linked towards House Gaunt?
There was multiple sightings of this person sending messages.
Oh, do you have any of those messages?
Sadly not.
So what you're saying, Lord Tremaine, is you have nothing. You have a corpse and a vial of poison, and that is it.
I have
If
a
you were to go to
story-
King's Landing, to court with that evidence, you would be laughed out.
Perhaps you are right. But perhaps you are wrong. The power of perception is quite strong. And given that your maester was with us until quite recently,
Mm-hmm.
that there are multiple sightings of this person sending messages, I believe
Okay.
that the power of suggestion and my words will be enough to at least plant a seed of suspicion, even if it leads to nothing. Of course, we could forget all of this if I ride with you to King's Landing, and we completely disregard House Gaunt as being behind this. We work together to find who really is behind all of this. And perhaps we put a pin on the marriage.
My Lord Tremaine, you remember that it was not me who proposed the marriage, it was the king. This is a crown marriage. So therefore, it is above your remit. This marriage will go ahead. And you seem to be holding this little vial of poison over us with no evidence whatsoever. And I have already agreed that let us go to King's Landing. And you keep saying that you want to focus on finding whoever really did poison. I do not believe you even think that we did the poisoning. I think you're just trying to hold it over us to get a little bargain, but it won't work. My lord, it won't work. So accept what I have offered, and we can focus. You say that is a priority, but you are not the one here with a dead younger brother. Need I remind you?
Need I remind you that I've lost more family in the past few days than just a single brother? Remind yourself of that as well, And if by any chance, and even if what you say is true, and I do not think that you are linked to it, if there's any tiny chance that perhaps you are, then I will hold on to it. And as I've said, suggestion is quite powerful, Lord Wendell. You can risk it, but the power of words, they linger. You can't erase them. So think about it. I'm willing to cooperate, but this is not one-sided, Lord Wendell.
Second top. Nuno, you need to make a roll, please. +1 bonus dice. Matt, if you want to jump in, it will be your turn.
This is not mine. This is not Maester Otto's place to speak here.
Right.
No.
Okay.
Like, if anything, he'll assist Wendell, and that's all he can do right now until it comes back around to getting directly
I just
addressed.
wanted to check in. But this is great.
No, you're good. I'm just like absolutely popcorning right now. This is beautiful.
So
Perfect.
this is literally just convince of like, sure, it can be literally what you're saying and nothing gets done against the gaunt, but the suspicion will always be there no matter what if I talk about it, right? So I'm just going to roll convince and see.
Okay.
All right, so that's an 18.
Okay. Okay,
It was 3 ones again.
Oh, no, that one's mine. You didn't
Oh, so
roll.
it didn't roll. Never mind.
No.
Nope.
It is an 18,
It's 18.
though.
There you go.
It is.
What are the odds?
Where are the Nuno dice? What happened?
Yeah. Okay, that is 2 degrees of success. Again. Okay, I'm not
so
out. I'm still in.
That's 6, I think. 6 damage. 6 composure.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still in there. Yeah, I'm still in there.
And Apocalypse just donated 2 crits for Wendell. So that's 2 more keep dice to go on your screen, Tom. Bringing you up to
Bloody hell.
3.
They are absolutely
Swing for the
going
fences,
for
my
blood.
lord.
They are absolutely going for blood. Okay. I think we need to end this, and we need to end this now. It's going on a long time. He'll kind of go up into his in the saddle, and he will kind of edge back and basically show you the army I'm behind. And he will turn and he will go, "My Lord Tremaine, I have been more than reasonable in the circumstances. House Tremaine has insulted House Gaunt again and again, and my younger brother has died. I have an army on your doorstep, and my father has called the bannerman. Accept my offer and save your people. Or is your pride too much to save your own?" That's it. That is that's a
That
massive.
feels like an
kind
intimidate.
of-
Yeah, I feel like that's a... Go
It's
ahead and
an-
roll. I'm not going to reply.
Yeah, it's like an intimidate kind
Would
of.
like to imagine behind you, Tom, as Vernon hears your words and your dice magically appear on the screen, that the signal is done for your banner to be raised, and echoing out amongst your hosts are the house words, "We prepare the charge." Not in a "we're about to go," but in an intimidating backdrop for you.
He'll turn. So let me work this out now. So 2, 4 plus 2. Okay. I am rolling 2. So I've got 2 keep dice. 4. Sorry. So rolling 6. God.
You have 3 keep dice on your screen.
Oh, I
extra.
have 3 keep dice. I'm going for it all.
You've got so many they're disappearing behind the portrait. They're just.
I'm rolling 6 then, yeah. At 7. So I'm rolling 7 d6, keep 5. 27 with 2 crits.
You can make sure I'm assisting you, so make sure you add another bonus die on there. Just
Oh,
in
okay,
case.
sure, why not? Might be a 6.
Fishing for 6s.
No.
I think a 4 still improves the roll, though.
No, it does. It was 5, 5,
28.
6, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right.
Okay, so.
Oh, sorry. So, damage-wise,
I don't think
it's
it
my
matters.
will
Okay.
rank. I think it was that 4 degrees of success.
4 degrees,
Yeah, it's
so
11,
that's 16 points of influence
I
because I've
think.
got a thing of 4.
Cool.
Plus crits,
Ah, so
because
kinda
it's
just-
double Nuno's defense.
Yeah, so it's double.
All the
So
rest.
it's like
Yeah, no, it's over. So Aster kind of looks around, and you see as he looks behind you and sees the banner raise, his previous sharpness to his eye kind of becomes numb, almost jaded, like not really listening to what the words you're saying. As he sees the army, and you can physically see as his chest kind of starts raising up and down in a faster pace. Inside his head, the army is already riding down the slope, and all he sees around him is red grass all over again, and bloodshed, and the sound of steel on steel, and of guts ripping apart. And as soon as you see that look in his eyes appear, almost momentarily only, it disappears instantly. Takes a deep breath and... Very well, Lord Wendell. Pick whoever you want to interrogate, and we ride first thing tomorrow.
Thank you, my lord. I already have one that I wish to interrogate, and he lords at Defan. You, sir, would be one of them. You may select a number of others, and they will be escorted back to our lines where we will question them.
Very well.
And with
Come along.
that... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna kind of like
Give me
say,
your
I need
last
to
word, your parting shot.
my last thing. I'm gonna say, come along, Sir Defan. Let us see what type of man you truly are.
Very good. With that, we will pan across the countryside and out into the dark to the horses of Jamie and Adeline. It's been a long and hard ride to get away under cover of darkness, to be beyond the boundaries of the Tremaine lands. But night has fallen around you, and it's dark. And there's that presence in the air, that heaviness, that a storm could come rolling in upon you at any moment. Do you ride through the night, or do you seek some shelter or build a camp?
I think I'd ask that to Adeline, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, if a storm's coming, no one's going to be out looking. It's going to be hard to find, so we might as well do the same. Who knows what happens to these horses if the trail is too slick. Riding time could be nothing, so it might be easier for us to just hide out, pull to the side, and just weather out the storm. And then pick better conditions to leave on.
I think we're on the edge of House Lands now. I'm starting to not recognize parts of the countryside. If we are to build a camp, let's not build a fire at least. Hope you brought some.
Well, if we're going to build a
warm
fire, we
clothes.
must do it further in.
No, I don't think we should build one at all. I hope you brought some warm clothes.
I've dealt with worse. A few days on the rain. Well, now at least that's settled. We can wait it out. Hopefully it won't take too long so we can continue on.
I don't mind taking first watch.
That's fine. I don't think I'm in any condition to go to sleep. I'll just... at least let my body take a rest. And you kind of notice that she's been kind of like... every once in a while making like this little gesture at the back of her neck. Like... her hair that used to be tied up, long, is shorter now. Shorter than she's probably ever had it. And it's the first time she's ever had like the edges of her like hair brush against it.
To be honest, I don't really know where to go from here. The visions I was shared with, visions I was shared upon, I don't really know. They didn't really indicate a place. So, we probably just need to start questioning people. Start looking.
Yes, this place is full of, well, these tunnels like the one that we're in the hold. We could easily walk over one, so if there's anybody here that would know of them, that would be our first. But you got these from visions. Or was something else? Just
As I said before, how many eyes does the Bloodraven have? Or actually, I think it would probably be more pertinent to say, how many eyes does the Bloodraven's concubine have? Jaded lover? Mine and his half-sister. Ugh.
Well, had this been a few weeks earlier, I would have put this down to nonsense. But everything that's gone on. If there's a chance to find Tarla, and we sure as hell didn't find her looking, I'm willing to go on anything at this point.
Quite. Did you put her letters down to crazed thoughts when you received them before?
I didn't know what to think. I didn't even think the letters from her. I thought they were from her brothers, trying to bait me into something. But now I don't know. She spoke something of... I don't know what these messages mean. I just know that it was important enough for her to send it to me. And send this to me. And she'll take out the piece of metal with her name on it. She wanted me to do something. And I know that getting justice for her was important, but the rest of it means something else. She always had interest in things that were beyond things that her parents would have hated. And I'm willing to see where that goes. Because I sure as hell don't have anything else left, I guess.
I would guess not either.
I would do it again. Do you remember the tournament with the coins?
Of course.
And that after the tournament, we took refuge in their tent. I had thought that their looks, their expressions were just toward me, knowing that I had no way of stopping them from what was happening with Tarla. And looking back, to know that they had done what they did to her mere months before, and they could look me in the eye.
I don't blame you.
But you think it was foolish, wrong, dangerous.
Oh yes, all of those things and more. But I hope what we can do now is restore some kind of justice to Della's name. And to do that, I hope that you can help me.
With what exactly?
Find her co-conspirators. Do what they intended to do to the Valyrians and to the Targaryen line. Wreak them justice with fire and blood.
Suppose I can do that and get some way someone will answer for what happened to our family. Because the more I think about it, the more I think your mother was correct about me.
Why,
I'm
what
just
did
a
she
little
say?
curse on this family. Always have. She's not wrong, though. So, maybe once if we succeed in this and we manage to live through it, I don't think I can ever go back. This
Well,
has been
Your-
evidence enough of that.
your uncle said the same about me. So, we have that in common at least.
Yes.
Like the cursed children of this house. Restore some of their honor in the eyes of the Seven.
How was your... She'll point to your face. It's your face. Didn't... I apologize.
I've seen worse.
Mm.
We've even had worse from time to time, walking the streets of King's Landing. Getting into a couple of drunken brawls, I must admit.
Well, can't say that I have good hold over my temper, especially on that matter.
No, quite.
You are wrong about one thing about that. she wasn't the one that had doubts.
What do you mean?
She wanted to leave earlier, make plans, run off together. I was the one that didn't want to leave family behind, didn't want to leave my father, so I delayed. And look what happened. Had I had, I believe more, had I...
I mean, you can't blame yourself for this. What Tavian or Vernon or whoever it was did to Della, it's not your fault. It's their fault.
I know. But you think about these things. I think about these things, that what...
Of course you do, but I find them to be a distraction from making what we have better. Whether that's better for ourselves or better for a house, a kingdom. I mean, it's all subjective, really, I guess. But let's at least do what we can. Try and do right by our loved ones.
That I can agree on.
If Della was part of this cult, then they probably convinced her, spoiled her spirit, her character, warped her sense of the world.
And if they have Tarla, oh, they could do it again.
If they have Tala, they could do exactly the same thing. Which is why it's
Provided we
important
find her.
we get her back. And we will find
Yes.
her.
Provided we find her, what do we do? If we
When we
find her,
find
we bring
her.
her back. That marriage still stands. That came from the crown. Considering what they would do to their own family, I can't let her stay with them, be with them. Because who knows?
I wouldn't ask you to do that. I don't think any of us could.
Oh, I guess we need to find her first.
It's the first step. From there, we'll have to find our way. I have to be honest with you and the Seven. I don't have much of a plan beyond that.
Well, I guess we'll have to just make it up as we go. I have no plan either, so perhaps an opportunity will show itself.
2 nights on the road, like the stories.
Down the road, you can hear the slow pace of a horse. The creature must be weary. You're both expert horse people, having been raised at the Tremaine household, and that being just about all they care about. And you can tell there's kind of a slight unevenness to its step, which comes from being tired and on a slippery path. And you see, as it rounds the bend, a lantern held low, someone leaning out of a saddle, staring to the ground, someone looking for tracks.
motion to Adeline.
Yes. Well, you said you wanted to question someone.
I'm not sure they can help us.
But we should be cautious. Who knows who they have out here?
Could be someone from the castle. Someone from Ferment's Hold. Trying to follow us here.
The horse is called to a stop with a click of a tongue. And the lantern raised up and swung from side to side as your tracks are lost from the road.
You could leave the horses here and circle around.
Just thinking about that. Well, I've had a lot of practice with this. So we can get closer. Let's just follow my lead. Let's look to see who this is.
All right, and what exactly does your approach look like? And then I'll ask you both to roll your sneaky, stealthy rolls.
Famously.
Assuming you're not just blazingly walking.
That's plan B.
Okay. Plan B, I own the road.
No, plan B's always get help.
I think Adeline, no, this is something she's used to, so she'll kind of take off her cloak and just make her way around as much underbrush as she can, not necessarily like going through it, but trying to find a path. Always maintaining kind of some blockage of vision from whoever that direction where the lantern's coming from. Just going slowly, methodically through it.
Right. Would you be
Actually,
aiming
picking
to
her
go
bow, she's
around
having-
the other side from Jamie, or just both come at it?
Yes,
Same.
yeah. If things just having one person one direction, another person the other direction,
I imagine that's going to take us
it'll
some
split
time,
their
isn't it, though?
attention.
Yeah, well-
Essentially, the quickest way would be for one of you to dart across the back of the road behind the rider. So whoever's stealthier would be my suggestion, and then the other one can just creep up the verge on the other side.
Yeah.
As
Sean,
they're
I'll
stopped
just-
in the middle
I'll
of
be
the
following
road, just
Adeline's.
swinging.
Yeah, I'll be following Adeline's lead. So
Yeah.
you let me know.
Yep, that sounds like a good idea. So, well, she'll be the one that gets the attention if things go. She knows how to kind of
Alright,
like divert attention if she needs to.
Adeline, your target number is going to be a 12, and Jamie, yours will be a 9 for the difficulty of the maneuvers you're making.
I'm gonna
Adeline's
use
slightly
that
harder
test.
because you get across the road. You're using your test dice? No worries.
Yeah, I'm
and
gonna
Shauna,
use
you
that
also
test
have
first.
test dice.
Sure, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what get my sheet.
And thank you very much, Chorus, for all of those subs. We've hit 20. And I dished out that last additional test dice to the wonderful Nuno for some killer roleplay in that last scene.
Okay. So this is just straight up. Okay, this is sneak. Okay, that's do stealth. Bonus dice. Nice. Look at that.
Very nice. Twin 13s. As you both succeed. Adeline, the road is slippy, but you manage to keep yourself quiet as you almost skid across the back of the horse, as the lantern is swung in another direction away from you. And Jamie, you take this moment to sneak up the running ditch along the side of the road, keeping low. And the figure on the horse is not a large, burly man, but they are dressed in a heavy traveling cloak and some kind of leather armor from what you can make out, but it is very dark here. And the lantern occasionally comes across and dazzles your eyes, meaning the details of this figure are harder to make out, but you both reach your positions on either side of the rider. What do you do, fam?
Just going to just look at this rider, get a good look as I can, looking for any... I've been around Gaunt patrols before, so I have a decent idea of how they dress them. Also looking to see if the state they're in, as far as like if they're worn out and if they're kind of like on the end of a long travel.
All right, so
You can kind of see that
awareness
little bit of
notice.
wariness. Yeah. All right. That's right. I have this really strange thing with my abilities.
And Jamie, what are you doing from the other side?
I am poised ready in case Adeline looks like she's going to be discovered. I will hop out and do get help.
Okay.
All right. Is there one? I
Alright.
get to reroll 1/1.
1-1.
Okay, that's 17. Oh no, sorry,
17,
that's
very, very,
still the same. No, 16. Sorry, 16. I replaced
16.
the 2.
very good roll.
Mhm.
On a 16, this rider looks exhausted, and as you squint closer, you recognize the rider. They are, in fact, from Tremaine Hold, and they are a young boy from the stable who has apparently strapped a sword to their side and dressed in some armor that's slightly too big for them and come riding out. The horse you recognize as one of the Tremaine horses, one of the younger yearling horses.
And being the one that put out patrols, this is unusual to have someone in this state. Like,
Very unusual to see Sir Tim this far from home. And
Yeah.
generally Sir Tim
Oh,
is
no.
there just chucking out the muck. That is pretty much his job in life right now.
okay, so Alan's going to kind of brush the hair in front of her face and just stand in front of this horse and rider. Just like, hold up there.
I think we found them, Basil. Look. Holds lantern up. Is that you, Sir Adeline?
Oh God, she just like winces, like, quiet, and she'll make the motion for Jamie come out.
Jamie's already behind the horse with his hand on his hilt, like ready to go, just like looking at this knight. And when this like boy's voice like calls out, he's a bit like, So he stands. He makes himself a little bit more obvious. There's probably a squelch or two of a puddle as he steps more to the side, for the rider to be able to see him if he turned to his right. And just stands there and looks. Do I recognize the boy?
Yes, you would recognize it as Tim the stable hand.
Or Sir Tim, as we like to call him.
Or Sir Tim, as we like to call him, and he likes to call himself.
Tim, who sent you here?
Sir Jamie. Oh, I didn't see you there, my lord. No, nobody sent me. I thought maybe you'd rustled the horses. I thought you were not you, and so I followed, and then I lost you for a bit. And then I realised no one rides horses like that but Tremaines. And then I figured with everything going on, maybe it was Sir Adeline on another hunt for Tala. There's a lot of shouting at the hold. So I had to be them gaunt stealing horses, right? So me and Basil came out to see what was going on.
Tim, what's going on at the hold?
Tim, perhaps we should have this conversation on the side of the road in case.
Lantern arcs out, suspicious of all the shadows who might be about to attack.
Tim, put that down.
I'm gonna try and take the lantern.
Things are
from
dangerous.
Tim, like slowly, and I'll snuff it out. And then what I'd like to do, or maybe Sean, if Adeline wants to do it, like to lead the horse around by the by the bite and pull it around.
Mm-hmm. We'll take the horses with ours and take him back to our little makeshift.
I would like to offer to be your squire if you are hunting for Tala.
100% yes. This is happening.
Yes,
Tim. Yes.
I think every time that Tim
yes, Tim
yells out, Adeline just kind of like Tim. Yes, you can, but you're gonna have to keep. We are trying to be quiet. Things are dangerous.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Low voices.
You're right. I'm sorry. No, that's me being silly.
That's fine. It's gonna cut through my brilliant little, really, really horrible bit next. I'm thinking of.
You see,
Right.
Sir Ashton said that I would be a knight next. Only I found out you can't be a knight if you're not a squire first. Or unless someone who's already a knight says you're it. And Lord Aster isn't actually a knight. And then the Gaunts were stealing the horses, so I thought if I could make my name by getting the horses back, then maybe a real knight would just knight me. But since you're on an adventure and a mission to get Lady Tala back, then I'll be your squire. Because it's a long ride back.
Yeah. Tim, first things first. The Gaunts did what? Stole the horses?
I don't know. I thought so. There's a lot of them.
Tim.
It wouldn't surprise me. You know what the Gaunts are like.
Yes, I know what they're like. How many of them?
Nothing but trouble.
How much is a lot? How much is a lot, Tim?
More than I have fingers on my hands. I'd say by about 10 times. Because that's how many fingers I have on my hands.
I think Alan just reacted and just kind of leans against a tree. It's like, oh God. How did they know this fast? Aster, oh.
Know what? Was it the thing that you did today that I'm not allowed to know about because no one would tell me?
Somewhat, yes.
Oh.
Tim, you'll have to come with us as a squire now. And you can be my squire. Because Tim, now that you've found us...
Yes.
You can't... Now that you've found us, Tim, you can't go home anymore. Because Lady Adeline is not welcome at the house anymore. And if anyone asks, Lady Adeline is dead. Milled to death.
Milled?
As is our way, Tim.
I see. Lady Adeline is dead.
Yes.
Yes,
and
not Lady Adeline because you're dead.
Yes, I am. It's easy to make that mistake. I am Rhea. Someone that
Rhea.
Jamie has hired to help find his sister.
Rhea the Huntress.
Exactly.
Just keep thinking about that and forget. Remember that Lady Allen is dead. Is your life could depend on that. Now, if you're going to travel with us, things could be very, very dangerous. And you have to know that before you take.
I was assigned to muck out R'hllor 6 days a week. I know what it's like to walk with the stranger.
That's pretty good.
Then you'll be well prepared, Sir Tim.
But we can go back when we find Lady Tala, right? Only I didn't tell my mum where I was going.
Then
That
I
may be
am
for the
sorry
best.
for your mother.
So what's the plan then?
Well, we were about to set up camp, but of course, now that we have a squire,
All right, a camp. I've built a few in the woods. And he'll
No
slide
fire.
off of the saddle.
yeah,
No,
no
fire.
fire, but a camp. You got any warm clothes with you, Tim?
I just took Sir Bryson's travelling cloak.
You're gonna need something more than that, Tim. I have a cloak back at the camp. You'll wear that.
I promise not to complain. Thank you. Rhea. And Sir Jamie. That is still the name you're going by, my lord. All right. 2 fine tents it'll be then. And cold something for dinner. And he'll take the reins of Basil, his horse, and walk it into the forest.
As Tim walks off, Alan's gonna just kind of tilt her head and look at Jamie and just like, no. Concerning what's happening at the hold. As dangerous as this is, this might be better.
For you, yes.
Well,
For
him,
I did not have
maybe.
maybe. I did not have tonight as the time I would acquire a squire, but here we are.
Well, we have to make do with what we do. I mean, it is a high honor, isn't it? Knight with a squire.
The highest squire of a prince. Of course. I mean, he cracks like a one-sided smile. Like,
So is it going to be Jaehaerys now? Or is it going to be Jamie?
Jaehaerys if we want to scare the small folk. Jamie if we want to actually talk to anybody.
Just saying where your head's at. She'll smile. Well,
As I say, I'll take the first watch.
alright.
See how many more squires
Keep
I
an
can
eye
get.
on. Aren't you only supposed to have one? Or can you have more? I'm not. I mean, I can't.
Jamie
be
likes top
lady
men.
knights and such. one. All right, I think yeah, Alan's gonna rest up and get ready for just not sleep, but just get ready for a second watch. I mean, she did die
And I think
tonight,
on
so yeah.
subject of talking to people and getting a response, we're going to cut back to the Gaunt camp where Maester Otto and Wendell have 7 people lined up to talk with the head billing going to one Diffin Valarian. We're going to make this a really simple intrigue because of time. And I'm going to ask that one of you rolls your preferred interrogation technique. I'm going to suggest it should probably be Intimidate, but you could use a Charm technique if you would prefer that approach. And depending on your degrees of success, we'll decide how many questions you can ask Diffin Valerian and how many I will answer truthfully.
Believe this is going to be Maester Otto's specialty here. He's going to go with the charm offensive, actually. Because he knows there's no love lost between Lord Wendell and Sir Diffin at this point. He's going to be the good cop. Talk it up, bring some wine, be all nice and lovely about it. We can be reasonable men. I promise. And I don't... Do I have a test die somewhere? I feel like I have a test die somewhere hiding, but yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone had one. I may have deleted yours by accident in a flurry of deletions.
That's fine. So we've got that. So we're going to roll 6 dice. Keep 4. I'm sorry, 5. Right, because I only have the 1 bonus. A 19.
Very nice. So this will be...
I'm sorry, that's a 21. I forgot. +2 to my results with charm. Because he's charismatic.
I'm going to give you 4 questions.
4 questions. Okay. The first one on our lips. Is Adeline really dead?
Does Maester Otto simply come out and ask?
I think it's more walking. I think it's more about walking back through the events prior to House Gaunt's arrival, leading up to the execution. And it's just take me back through. Tell me what happened there.
So
did you see
Diffin
Adeline's body?
Walks you through the events as he knows them. Adeline's attack on Lord Aster with a bow. That she attempted to flee through the secret passages. That she was carried up through the house, appearing dead, and taken to the millstone in the village. But you know he is omitting a vital detail, which you heavily suspect is that Adeline is not the person that went to the millstone. That somewhere between her body being brought to the keep, he is lying about something. It's at that point you notice his deception kick in.
Yeah. Oh, Lord Diffin. We can be nicer about this. I really don't want to be harsh. I could hand you over to Lord Wendell for his methods of questioning, but you'd find them brutish. Was Adeline's body the one that went to the millstone?
He looks around for a clever answer. But there's something pulling at him, something in your warm-up of being, reasonable men, wanting just to get to the answers, and he stiffens, says, "No, it was not her body." And also, thanks to Apocalypse, you have been given one truth, Matt. You can introduce a truth about this scene or the world. You can decide at the end of the session. You don't have to use it now. But for anyone familiar with Terra RPG, it's the exact same mechanic. Matt gets to introduce one truth. I can add to it. But whatever it is will be true about the scene or the world.
I have an idea, but I'm going to let it go for right now.
Okay.
I'll let that hang. Where is Adeline's body?
I don't know where it is now. Asta sent it away.
Of course he did.
And it's the truth that he does not know where Adeline is now. Still being cagey about the fact that Adeline walked out on her own two legs, but
that's enough truth. That's enough truth there that I've got it. We don't. If he wants to dance, we can dance. I'm all right with that. He's given me enough. Do you feel safe with House Tremaine?
He considers it. Yes, I do. There are such a thing as friends in politics. They've been nothing but friendly to me.
Entirely fair. They, when approached in the proper circumstances, can be quite friendly and hospitable. And I'm certain you've been enjoying their hospitality this whole time.
Sir Jamie has helped me making amends with my father after the embarrassment of the tournament.
So Jamie, I feel, is of the best House Tremaine has to offer. And the fact that he's been assisting you speaks well.
Tala is the best that they have to offer, Prime Minister.
Tarla is a very gentle soul, and I do so hope that she is found and found well. It's heartbreaking that she was lost that evening. I don't know what else can be done. It's a tragedy, really.
What I do not understand, Maester Otto, is they intended to kill me. Why would they take her? What is her part in all of this?
That is a mystery. One I would very much like to answer, if only for my own curiosities. But also to see Tarlo return safely. And if there are conspirators, we'd want to see them brought to justice.
There are none at the house, at least.
None that we can find at this point.
Would you answer a question from me, Maester Otto?
It would be only fair, given our circumstances.
Why is Sir Wendell pressing the arranged marriage? Why not abandon it?
So Wendell sees it as a duty. And to him, duty comes above anything else. Especially duty to the crown. If you wish to petition your noble cousins to have that agreement annulled, if you could find a way to ensure the peace, well, he would go along with it, I'm certain. He wouldn't be adverse, I wouldn't think.
He does not wish the marriage.
Nobody wants that marriage. But it's what keeps the peace. And so we go along with it.
Then
find a way
perhaps
to
it
keep
is
the
someone
peace.
who didn't want peace between your families that took Tala. Is she not the missing link to it all?
Tarly is a missing link. Whether or not she's the missing link, that still remains to be seen. Unless you have more information you wish to volunteer on the matter.
If only I did. I meant my words. I will find her.
I can only wish you the best of luck on that, Lord Diffin.
If you had word on it, would you tell me?
I would. Because there would be nothing to gain by withholding it.
Then if you have nothing else, Maester, I would like to return to the hold.
Of course. I appreciate your time here, and perhaps we can meet under less tense circumstances another time.
If the seven permit.
I would like to have before he goes and before Master Otto goes, I would like to conversation with Master Otto. And out of earshot of everyone, so it's quite quiet.
So let's frame it like this. Diffin comes to the outside of the tent that's been set up to have these conversations in, and you're outside, Wendell, and you say,
Yeah.
wait a moment. And then you go in and speak to the Maester. And Wendell will wait a moment. Well, not Wendell, sorry. Diffin will wait a moment for you.
Okay. He'll... How did he seem?
Ernest.
Did he tell you what we want to know?
As close as we're going to get out of him, he's quite loyal to the Tremaines. Against all reason.
Would he say it in court?
I think he would have no reason to lie in court. Or he would not wish to. It would dishonor the crown and his family.
I see. The body that Lord Tremaine shown us, was it one of yours?
One. Yes.
Very well. I wish to have words with him before he departs. Thank you, Maester.
As you wish. Of course, my lord.
And he will leave, and he'll go up to Defan. Sir Defan, please walk with me.
A private word.
Indeed. I thank you so much for coming here and telling us what you could. It's a very honourable and noble thing that you are doing. May I ask
I don't...
why you wish to marry Lady Tala?
And he takes an introspective moment as he tries to decide on the words, and then he looks at you. Because it would be nice to make my own choice occasionally.
Indeed, I would cherish the chance to make my own choice, but duty. What if I gave you the opportunity to make your own choice? All I ask is when we return to King's Landing during court, you say exactly what you said to the Maester, to the court in front of everyone. And I will petition to cancel the engagement to Lady Tala, for you to betrothed to her.
Make me a persuasion convince roll, unless you're being deceptive, at which point you can roll your deception.
I'm not.
and
No,
I'm gonna
he is
give you,
one.
I'm going to give you a
100%
bonus dice.
earnest.
You lean into things that are important to Diffin with this conversation.
Okay. I'm not
We're
very
going to
great
give
at
this as a simple
persuade.
intrigue, so it'll be a succeed fail type deal.
Okay. Oh, did I roll that right?
Well,
Yes, a
do we have
9. Not particularly
9.
good at persuade. But
Alright, so that is
There we go.
just a success. You meet his.
oh. The way I see it, you will get what you want. Hopefully, justice will be served with the kingdom and all gods. This is the best outcome.
Assuming, of course, it is what the Lady Tala wishes as well.
Well, you seem rather confident, and between myself and you, if I'm honest, I believe she would probably choose you. If only because you're not a Gaunt. The Tremaines,
Is that
if you hadn't
why-
noticed.
Is that why you do not choose her? Because she is a Tremaine.
No. I don't choose her because I don't know her. I have never met her. I don't know who she is, or I barely even know what she looks like. But I do my duty to the crown. If that duty is no longer required, then I will no longer pursue the marriage.
I feel in our arrangement that I get the best of the deal. I simply give up the truth and you give up a prize.
Indeed.
But do not let me persuade you to change your mind.
I'm sure that you wouldn't. All I want is the truth. And that is all. Thank
She's
you for
very
your
different
time.
from her sister.
In what way?
I'm terrified.
In what way, Charlie? In what way?
I've seen her sister prepare a rabbit from a hunt. And I have seen the Lady Tala shy away from a gentle Dornish advance. She is kinda softer. Much less involved.
Careful, Sir Sorry. I'm looking up his name again. Defan, right?
Yeah.
Careful, Sir Defan. You are dangerously close to persuading me otherwise to change my mind. And he'll give a very small grin.
Lord Aster is trying.
I am sure he is. I do not envy his position. He has been put in a very difficult position. But the truth is the truth. And only through the truth can justice truly be served.
And may we both learn much truth in the coming days.
Of course. Now, I won't keep you any further. You are more than welcome to return.
Good night, Sir Wendell.
Good night.
He gives kind of a half bow. Is there any further conversation you'd like to have, Tom or Matt, before we move to the Lady Allegra?
Do we need any further conference? Or, because I think we're good.
No, I think the only thing that he would do is tell the Maester what he's given, the offer that he's put forward. And that's it, really.
You will learn
Just to
from
keep
the
him up
other
to
six
date.
people that the majority of Famous Hole believe Adeline is dead, and that she was
Okay.
taken down to the village millstone. That's
Did-
they
did-
100% believe that to be true.
Okay. But none of them actually saw details of the body, right? They're just saying...
Right.
They saw the body
Yeah.
carried down. They were told that's who it was.
Because we
They
would be
have-
pushing,
Body
are
was
you
wrapped
sure
up,
it's Adeline? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Nobody saw
Yeah.
her face when she died.
It had a pin, right, Shauna? You'd put a pin or something on the body. Yeah,
Okay.
It was
that's
her,
what the recollection.
her father's
is.
ring.
That's
All
right.
right, I'll need to remember that.
All
right.
So they'll say
Making-
that they
I'm
saw
just-
Yeah, no, that's good.
that. All right.
We've got it.
Perfect. We've had a long way now, across to the coast and out to sea, into a ship. Susie, what is the name
Yes.
of the ship you are sailing
Oh
on?
shit! I don't know. Why? Oh, don't name me. Ask me to name things. Fuck.
Whose
Well,
ship
I
is
like
you
it?
know
to
what
Whose
think
ship
Janet
is it?
Dorsey has named the ship for you, so...
What kind of ship is it?
This is the flagship. This is the big ship.
Oh
Giannis's big
Jesus! No
ship.
pressure then.
His current
I don't know.
big
You
ship.
have
Just
to
tell
leave
us.
this one with me. Naming a
All
ship
right.
is a lot of work. I can't call her the Strong Girl.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
We'll fancy up. We'll
All right.
fantasy up. But the essence Strong Girl. That's where we're going.
Right. So, you're on this flagship making your way south. You are to meet at Storm's End with the rest of the fleet that is assembling. And from there, the plan is to launch an attack on Tyrosh, where the Targaryen exiles are currently holding out. From where Bittersteel sent the body of a Lord Arryn back as a threat or a promise, loaded with silver coins, Blackfire heads stamped upon them. There's a lot of very upset lords that have joined the Navy. The Master of Ships, Lord Gargalen, however, has been absent, which has riled up everyone in the Crownlands, north and south. They don't know where he is. They've been unable to reach him. There have been a lot of storms lately, which has caused all kinds of problems. But the rumor is that he is in the south, near Dawn, helping the Prince Martell with some business. Because the Prince Martell also absent from court at the moment. If anyone's wondering why we are reacting, please go and watch After the Fire. And you will understand, because we do share a universe with that show, and currently Gargalen and
Spoilers.
Martell are elsewhere.
Spoilers. It's the Martells fucking me over again. Fucking Martells.
But meanwhile, in this universe,
Anyway.
you are on this ship. On the ship also with you is Bastian Will, who you met in the capital at the end of last season. He had actually been taken to King's Landing by Felion Will, who feared he would die on the journey south. Despite having been stabilized, there were still big concerns for his cousin's well-being. So he was taken to King's Landing to be treated, and that is where you met him. And he essentially asked for a ride home, Felion having gone south with the horses from the House Tremaine, meaning to have a word with his sister over to whom the house belonged. And so essentially he's riding with you, but he is growing nervous as you follow that jagged coastline. It's not been easy sailing. The waters on this side are just full of small islands, jagged rocks, things to scuttle and ruin an invader's life coming from the other way. But you are kind of cruising on around and towards Storm's End, which is the Baratheon stronghold. It's a grey day. Would you be up on deck or down below?
She'd probably be up on deck. That's why the hot boys are. Ah, come on.
All the men on
you know.
the ship have classic net shoulder pauldron of the Dorsey fashion.
No! Our sailors are nerds. Shit.
Thanks, Jonathan Fry.
Anyway, yes, regardless, Allegra is, she's casting an eye over the crew, making sure everything's ship-shape. Taking in that lovely sea air.
Tell me, my lady, what is your plan for when we reach Storm's End?
A plan?
You tell me you do not have one.
What makes you think I do have one?
In the few days that I have been in your acquaintance, I am assured that you always have a plan. Were you not on your way for a date with Lord Otherus when we met?
Oh, yes, I was, yes. And she gets this sort of semi, that was a good afternoon. I had apologies to make and reparations to pay, which were paid in full.
It is not for me to question.
Though I'm sure many would. Tell me, you make my plans seem so tawdry.
I prefer the word elaborate.
I'm sure. And what of you, my lord? What about your plans? Are they elaborate?
I will assist my cousin at our hold. His sister is a difficult woman, and not in such a attractive way.
Attractive.
Is there
And
another
she
word
just
you
gives him
prefer?
that sort of well, look. No, attractive suits me quite fine, actually. But tell me, though, what do you get out of it? Your cousin gets his house, and you get what?
The benefits of my favorite cousin being in charge of the house.
Not lands, not titles, money, power, influence.
Money, power, influence, no small folk to look after, no bills to keep track of.
Sounds like quite the charmed life.
Almost as good as being the lady of the house.
Trust me, it's not as advertised. You haven't met my mother-in-law.
I have not. Will she be joining us?
Gods, I hope not. Keep a Marguerite Dorsey at Tide's door and lock the door. Though, I never said that, of course.
Of course, and I never called my dear lady cousin a craven bitch.
Wow. Tell me how you really feel, Bastian.
Well, the Dorns are a romantic people in general. But there are some songs that you would appreciate, I am sure, that could apply to your mother-in-law that share some connection to my lady cousin.
I would very much like to hear them.
He looks around to either side. How do the Dorseys care for the Dornish?
Oddly, we've never had much cause to interact with the Dornish. You see, up at Crackclaw Point, we're quite secluded. But thus far, you've proven to be good friends.
Well, I can't have you getting lonely.
Oh?
With all the seclusion at Tide's Door and all of the travel.
You mean to come visit?
Perhaps you will ride down to our house from Storm's End. It's much less drab than that Baratheon hellhole.
Well, now the elephant in the room has been addressed. How do you feel about arriving at Storm's End? I know there is no love lost between the two houses.
I was rather hoping I might take a rowboat a little earlier and land somewhere else. If only to save you the trouble of this stubborn warthogs kicking off.
And she sort of leans forward, puts her hand on his arm. Oh, but my dear Bastian, that's half the fun. Surely you would not deny me the fun of seeing the face of Lord Baratheon as I am escorted into his keep by Lord Will.
I rather think the face of your husband would be the picture I was afraid of. And he glances over, and I imagine Janice is busy at the other end of the ship, being all manly, doing ship things with rope, you know? Tacking the sail.
Setting sails, twisting rope, whatever you do on ships. She laughs. And she says, you know, so many people are so preoccupied by my husband, honestly. Do they not understand that there's a certain level of trust that goes with marriage? He trusts me, I trust him.
But the question would be, does he trust me, my lady?
And she looks between the two. Probably not.
Then he is
But that has
always
never
man.
stopped. It has never stopped me before.
Storm's End, you say?
Storm's End.
Perhaps today you should rename it Storm's Beginning. Allegra, make a roll to convince this man to go to his blood enemy's household with you.
Just for drama, too. She's the worst.
Knowingly for mischief. You can roll this as a seduction, a charm, or a persuasion. I will take one.
Oh,
of those three.
she's laying on the seduction. Let's be real. That's who she is.
Unless you are leading him on in this seduction, not meaning to go through with it, at which point it would be a bluff.
Nah, I mean, come on.
Fair.
She's stuck on a ship. What else is she to do? Let me just
He's
make
on
sure
our
I've got
list.
no other. He's on the list.
He's under
Right at the top of the
Baylor, but
list
he's on the list.
Baylor's at the top with hearts around him.
Bay underlined.
Okay, right. And I get to reroll once, so give me 1 second, because this is a persuasion test. I only got one, and it makes no difference. So that's a 20.
And that will be a success. And for next week, Bastian will be coming with you to Storm's End. Apocalypse, I did see that Bane coming in, but I'm going to save it for next week, because next week is going to be all about the Lady Allegra at Storm's End, and I am ready to bring her some trouble then. But for now, that is where we're going to end today's session. As we see Adeline and Jamie having camp with Sir Tim, figuring out where to go next in their search for Tala. Asta retiring to the hold, where Garen gives him a firm and steady pat on the back for keeping the peace. And Wendell and Maester Otto plotting the next step for House Gaunt. I'm so happy to be back. Can I just say that? I do apologize for the technical difficulties with Moldark. And I appreciate all the team bringing their roleplay today. So let's go around, say hi to everyone, hear what they're looking forward to this season, and where we can find them on the internet and all of that good stuff. And we're going to go clockwise, so we're going to start with Matt. Because, Matt, you have a truth to tell me, sir.
I do have a truth to tell. And that truth is that Jamie and Adeline and Sir Tim were spotted by Gaunt Outriders as they were making their way out of the area. Love ya.
And that is that the 3 Tremaine hunters were spotted by Gaunt men. And the truth I will add is that one of these Outriders is the very battle-scarred Master at Arms for House Gaunt, who was injured and therefore held back from the host due to his run-in with Adeline, and it is he that will now be following. And what I will say is, for now, Adeline, you have Nemesis as a new drawback, as this man is going to dog your step for now. Thank you so much, Matt, for that truth. We will see what comes of it.
Otherwise, hey, Matt, you can find me on Twitter at @TheKillerGM, where I do writing about games, talk with people of various nerderies, all that fun sort of thing. I show up here sometimes. Sometimes I live tweet various Game of Thrones things. Some Curious Targaryen guy takes over from time to time. It's okay. And otherwise, on Sundays on my own channel, MattF7, I have Masks Sunset City. It's a heck of a time with a bunch of teen heroes. Some folks you might recognize from the chats. And this next Sunday is the latest issue, and they have decided that to gain the favor of Morgana Le Fay, they have to take down a big-time supervillain, and they have chosen the streaming supervillain Ulysses Tube. The next issue will be titled Support My Hatreon. Otherwise, these wonderful, wonderful people, thank you all so much. It's wonderful to come back in and help out with this new season, see what's going on. It's always a treat, and I am looking forward to seeing where Allegra's travels take her, and just how Aster survives the oncoming storm that is coming his way.
Spoilers, he doesn't.
Oh, he'll have a way, I'm certain. Anyways, it's lovely. Always
Awesome.
A pleasure.
Thank you so much for being our guest this season and last, and for helping me out on the World Anvil, where there are updates are coming. So please do keep an eye out on that over there. I will be dropping the link over in our Discord, which we will drop you a link to in chat in a little bit, so you can join. All of our shows have a channel, and there's tons of extra information for all of the shows there. Shauna, welcome back, friend.
Oh, I missed them. This is just, I love how much of a disaster everything is, and I have to say that Aster did such a good job trying, what everybody left him with. I managed to do some good. But yeah, I miss this, and I'm excited to play with everybody again, and I'm excited to see what Jamie and Alan and Sir Tim, now that we have a kid. We have to keep safe. This is a lot of responsibility now. We can't let anything bad happen to Sir Tim.
Last season, life and death decisions, not a lot of responsibility. This season, one child squire, so much responsibility.
It's like a pet. Oh.
I was about to say that. He's literally just like a dog is turned up. Anyway.
Where can we find you, Shauna?
Yep. You can find me on Falling Spheres on Twitter, where I have the art that I do, like the ones that are on this overlay, and everything else, and the games I play throughout the week. There's a lot of premiere weeks this week. Actually, on this channel, starting on Thursday, it is the Star Trek Klingon show. I am very excited. Oh, is it? There's gonna be a lot of blood wine, probably a lot of fighting within the crew. And we had a really awesome session. I can't wait to see how everybody interacts. It's going to be a lot of fun. And on Saturday, it's premiere season 2 of Black Flag, a Wandering DM pirate powered by the Apocalypse game, where we summoned a demon, or my character summoned a demon. And that character is actually, it's strange because that character was, I made like a royal highborn witch who was getting away from her family. I just made Della. What the hell? But yeah, that's all I can get from me. But... so
Awesome. Thank you so much for being back. Quapla!
yes.
Quapla! Asta.
Shit. I got startled. My filter even fell. Oof, whew. Hello, yeah, it was I, Aster, played by Nunu. I'm so happy to be back. This is an amazing show, an amazing cast, and even the guests are brilliant. This was such a fun episode, and I can't wait for next week because I have a lot of thinking to do if I want to get away with this, with saving Adeline's life. Basically, should have just killed Adeline. Should have just killed Adeline and be done with it. No, here was a soft heart. Anyway, it was fun, and yeah, because next week's going to be just Allegra's adventures, but whenever Aster's back, we'll see what I can do. As for myself, I am Nunu. You can find me here on Mondays, and also on Mondays, starting next week, you can find my newest project, which is the Soaring Quest, the Soaring City, with over on the Chromatic Chimera channel with the No Initiative crew. That's at No Initiative TV on Twitter. You can follow us there, and we're going to be playing Quest, the system, the RPG system that's garnering quite a bit of attention, and we read through it, loved it, and we decided to do a season. It's going to have 8 episodes. If we like it, we might do more, but for now, starts next week and then ends somewhere in September. So if you like that, it's always half an hour after this show ends. I think it starts then. Apart from that, yeah, JNunu TEX on everywhere you can find people online, and that's it.
Thank you so much, friend. Relax, you did it. The house is not on fire yet.
Yes.
Sam, the house is not on fire
Hello.
yet. Am I doing this wrong?
Yeah. No. Yes. Wait. Hang on. We're creating our own disaster, and you know better than anybody that is what players do. Yeah, I'm looking forward to how things spin out, particularly now that we've adopted a child. It's not how I expected this first session to go, but I am 100% here for Sir Tim, who I have a sneaking suspicion you just ported over a character that you really liked from a certain Technical Tuesday game that you played. I got big
Fire Thorn in another.
I got big Thorn energy tonight. Yeah. But yeah, that I am really looking forward to that, and just looking forward to the buddy cop drama that will be the three of them now rocking around Westeros trying to find a cult with a name and a sister. Who knows? I just can't nowhere near it, I don't think.
We will discuss in the break the clues that you do have, so we can decide exactly where you're going to be going. You do have a couple.
Good, because I haven't got a fucking clue. Cool. Oh, well, I mean, so from one such to the next, you can find me around the internet everywhere at RPG Webby, but you can also find our little indie RPG publishing branch, Follow Black Cats, around the internet at that same address. We also stream a kind of sister campaign to this game that we call After the Fire on Thursdays on that channel. So head over to Follow Black Cats, 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern, to catch us live, or it's on the YouTube, which I believe, Susie, is Follow Black Cats as well, right? Yeah.
The YouTube is Black Cats Gaming.
That's who we're really called. There we go. I had to double check with my marketing and social media personally manager thingy. There we go. Yeah. But so to head on over there as well. Under that brand, we're launching a 5e powered game of action and espionage called The Spy Game. It's modern day, so it's a bit of a different take on the kind of fantasy rule set, I guess, from the world's most popular role-playing game. And yeah, really excited because we're almost finished up the manuscript, so that should be heading off to backers very soon. But late pledges are just about to close, I think, because the pledge manager is about to close. So keep your eyes peeled. We'll probably be streaming some more of it at some point shortly, as the development kind of goes into more production management stuff than actual kind of rules development and stuff. So I'm going to be excited about that as we do more of that on our channel. Just keep an eye out for any other little things that we'll be doing in the future. Very exciting stuff. Thank you, Charlie. I went on for a very long time. Sorry. I'll stop now.
No, you're fine. Please do go check out the Spy Game. We played it a couple of times on the channel and we enjoy it. It's a very good fun. Susie, talking of very good fun.
Hello. I just want to state here for stream, I'm getting read to absolute fucking filth in the green room chat. And I won't stand for it.
It's the only way we can cope.
But hey, Allegra's back. And her first session, she's banged someone else who isn't her husband. It's just how she be. Schemes, sex, scandal, oh my. It's all part of the Allegra Dorsey experience.
And for
Which
the
should be
record,
the title of her
Donella
book.
was also there.
Of course she was.
Not in the
I
room.
mean, it wouldn't be the...
Hang on.
Wait,
No.
just watching? What the fuck?
She just pickpockets Bastion, no problem. Bye. Have fun.
Well, it's
You're busy, but I'll just take this. Anyway, hi, I'm Susie.
I'm
Otherwise
looking
known as
forward to.
Susan. I'm looking forward to more of that, I guess. I'm looking to the complete and utter destruction of House Gaunt, which is coming. I'm looking forward to more buddy cop adventures with Sir Tim, and for Asta to get the house sold down the river. Basically, I'm not gonna have a house to go back to. I'll get Asta a wife, and I'll be like, who? There is no House Tremaine anymore. It's just extended Gauntlands.
Dead. It's the one building with a stone saying Tremaine in front of it. Nothing else.
Yep. It's like an extra cottage. It's just the Tremaine cottage, and it's on Gauntland now because they're just those
Exactly.
kind of people. Yeah. So that's what I'm looking forward to in this season. But as for me, I'm Susie, otherwise known as Susanna Grace. I'm a variety streamer. I do video games. I do art streams. I do tabletop RPGs. You can find me all over the internet at Susanna Grace, and you can find me here tomorrow on Encounter Roleplay at 2 p.m. Eastern for Secrets of Pendragon, in which the tall, beautiful, strong, handsome, incredible Sasana returns. For more Call of Cthulhu action. I'm very excited.
I thought she was segueing to you as well, Tom. But Tom, you will also be there, and thank you for being here.
Kind of deflated after that. I was so anticipation, and then just like, yeah. Yes, it was a lot of fun playing Wendell. He's a bit of a dick, but not that much of a dick. He's all right. He's not the worst. I do feel bad for Asta. I really do. The family has just fucked him so hard. I mean, just left him on his own against the, forces. But I mean, it's just been the poor bastard, And, it's just terrible. You should be ashamed of yourselves. I feel your pain, Asta. I feel your pain. But that's not going to stop me from destroying you. So, anyway. No, I really do enjoy it. It is a lot of fun, actually, playing a kind of bad guy, like an NPC. It's a lot of fun. It's because, if he dies, it's no biggie for me. But it's a lot of fun. I really am looking forward to the buddy cop. I'm really looking forward to that. What shenanigans they're going to get up to. Sir Tim. Oh my God, that's going to be great. I love squires. They're so adorable. And then just when you're like, yes, they're going to make it, they die on you. So I'm waiting for that. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Can't wait for the orgy at House Baratheon. So that'll be fun next week. But yeah, I am Tom, or Hotflakes Tom on Twitter. I will be DMing Secrets of Pendragon tomorrow on Encounter Roleplay at 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Eastern. And also I am on the sister campaign for this, After the Fire, Thursdays at 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern. I think I finally got it right. After a year of doing it, I finally got it right. Yeah, that's me.
Thank you all so much, and thank you in chat for being here. If you're on YouTube and you've made it this far, leave us a comment down below on what you are looking forward to this season. And if you're new today, welcome, friends. This is a great point to be joining us. I promise I will fill in the gaps. But if I do not fill them in well enough, the very good Maester Barnaby is releasing a lecture series on House Tremaine. Episode 1 is up right now, all about the history of the house. And episode 2 is coming as soon as I finish editing it, which will be in a couple of days over on the YouTube channel. We will get that out nice and early for you. Made shout out to Pope, who is voicing the wonderful Maester Barnaby and writing those for us. The other thing I want to shout out is how many amazing clips you've gathered tonight. Those will be turned into GIFs, and on Sunday, that's the day of the week it is, on Sunday we will be announcing GIF or clip of the week. So there's no prize, but I will shout you out as loudly as I can and share that clip. Because they're always super fun. We have a Clips channel over on the Discord. So thank you so much for that as well. I think that is all I have to say beyond please be here tomorrow, because we have a whole new chapter of Pendragon's Parish, Secrets of Pendragon, tomorrow for Call of Cthulhu Dark Ages with the wonderful Tom, Lindy, Susie, Amelia, Kate, and Wild Engineer, and me. I'm also there. And Moldark will be back. So until then, friends, I need a new outro. Send me suggestions. Take care. Goodbye.